I like to say that a man is the closest thing to God. No matter what's going on, we have to rise consistently every day, and we have to provide consistently every day. We have to serve consistently every day.
He has to have a code. He has to have certain things he's going to say and do, and he means it. You know, when I was coming up, if a man said something, that was his word was bond.
For some guys, they're invisible to women. In order for them to stop complaining, they just really have to step up their game, meaning they have to step up their strategy. They have to become a more attractive guy. So the reason why so many guys are sexless is because they don't have any game.
Weak men need to be purged. And what I mean by that is that there was a time where only the strongest men had valuable things.
Anybody that's been out here in the last 10 years, it's easier to get sex than it is to make $100. Basically put yourself in a position and they throwing it to you. So I think, again, weak men have risen up and they have a voice and they spew their shit onto other weak men and they fall for it. And it's this whole victimhood thing.
I say, okay, put your arm out. They put their arm out. I say, grab your arm. You can grab your arm.
When I think of a man in my head, he takes responsibility with a purpose. And this responsibility gives him struggle, and through that struggle, he gets strength, and through that strength, he creates structure.
Smack your arm. You can smack your arm. Pinch your arm. Okay, you're real. Go fucking knock on Fear's door and grab his arm.
Whatever he wants out of life, whatever he desires out of life, whatever steps he wants to take to secure what he requires, I think he should be true to that first and foremost.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
See, the emotional male will always use emotions to make excuses for the fact he ain't shit.
You gotta be ready to go the distance behind what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to die about some shit.
Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the woman you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Top Soil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity, specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
Click the link below and get your tickets to the Game Kings 2, The Definition of a Man documentary screening that's going to be held in Miami on October 26th, 2024. You'll be the first to watch the documentary, and then after the documentary, you'll be able to participate in a question and answer session with the Game Kings live. Space is limited, so click the link below and get your tickets now. Yo! What's poppin'? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the motherfucking dating game. What's good? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the chats. Shout out to everybody in the building. Before we get started, guys, I got to tell y'all, make sure that you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com.
Do it! Just do it!
Because we have the $1 sale. So we got the $1 sale, and you guys can, join the Masculine Identity membership for $1 for the first 30 days, and you guys will actually get to be on the Masculine Identity membership. Put summer in the code. Summer is the code, so you make sure you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com. Also go to badboymembership.com. To join the Bad Boy membership, we get 45 to 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Make sure you guys go get that shit cracking, man. So, guys, today's show is so necessary. It's so necessary. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to my lady April MC in the building. Shout out to Frankie Shaw, monogamous player, Steve O Baby Dukalex in the building. Shout out to Joe Blast in the motherfucking building. Who also got up in here? Shout out to AT is in the chat. Renee P is in the motherfucking building. Anonymous player Joe Meir, what's going on with you? Shout out to True Savage is up in the building. Who else we got up in here? Shout out to Jay Bird, got game, borrow. What's going on? What's popping with you? I shit up here falling like crazy. Shout out to SSJ Dan Frank. Shout out to who else we got up in here? Lewis 112. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Because listen, let me tell you guys. So today's topic, I titled it, "What You Believe About the Game is 100% Wrong." Okay? What you believe about the game is 100% wrong. And we got to talk about the difference between believing and knowing. And what gave me the idea of this topic was what I noticed when I watch, some guys on the internet, when they talk about dating and relationships and stuff. And also when I coach guys individually, like when I have clients and they we have the coaching sessions on Skype and on the phone and all this other stuff. And I'm having conversations with these guys. And unfortunately, what happens is this, and I've seen this pattern over the years, is that you have a lot of guys, that are coach, and even guys that I'll see on the internet who are supposedly giving advice on dating, right? They're talking about, when it comes to the game, they're talking about what they believe, right? But they're not talking about what they know. All right, I'm gonna say it again. They're talking about what they believe, but they're not actually talking about what they know. So what's the difference? So what you believe, right, is based on what you may think is the right thing, or where you think the right direction is to go, right? But you're not really sure, which is why you have to believe. When you know, right, that means you're sure, right? Because you don't have to believe when you know, because you are sure of it. So for example, a person might say, when it comes to the game, they say, well, I believe that it's all about looks. Like, you got to be a really good looking guy. And if you're not a really good looking guy, you can't get girls. That's what they believe. Right. But what happens is when you have game, you know that it's not all about looks. Do you see what I'm saying? But see, you have to get to a certain level of awareness to know. And understand, believing is not a bad thing, because see, sometimes you have to believe a certain thing and go in a certain direction so that you get to the point of knowing, right? Because even in this book right here, How to Have Sex 2 in a Day, right? In the first chapter, I talk about thinking and believing that you're the type of guy who can attract women, right? And so what happens is that most guys believe that they're not that guy. So what happens is I tell guys, listen, believe you are that guy so that you'll take action and interact with women. And then when you start attracting women, then you will actually know you're the type of guy who can attract women. You see what I'm saying? And see, once you know, you don't need to believe because you know. Part of the believing is you have to have some sort of faith in what you're believing in, because you don't really know what you're believing in is correct. But when you know the game, you know the game, right? See, for example, you guys know that, you know, if you have sex with a woman, right, and she's ovulating or something, or you keep having unprotected sex, you know that she can get pregnant. You don't have to believe that. You know it, right? You know, if you took a knife, if I took a knife and I sliced my hand right here or my arm right there, right? You know that it's going to bleed. You don't have to believe that it's going to bleed or not. You know this. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that there are certain things you know, and there are certain things you don't really know. So then you have to go based on belief. So what happens is a lot of times when it comes to this game, a lot of guys are believing certain things that are not true. And what happens is that they don't know that they're wrong. So this is why you have a lot of guys on the internet, they'll say goofy shit like, well, you know, you can't get a hot girl unless you have a lot of money. That's what they believe. You understand what I'm saying? Because what happens is if they actually had game, they would realize and experience that they can attract a hot girl without having a lot of money. Now, once they attract that hot girl or number of hot girls without money, then they will know that they can attract hot women without money. You see how that works? So a lot of the things that a lot of you guys believe, the reason why you believe it is because you're going based on your own understanding and your own experience. So what happens is that when you go based on your own understanding and your own experience and you don't really have tight game, you don't really understand the game, what happens is that you think you know, but you really don't. And then that actually fucks up your situation, because now what happens is that you're going based on your limited experience, because you start to believe certain things based on your limited experience. You see what I'm saying? And even what happens is you have a lot of guys on the internet, they talk all this shit. Why? Because of their limited experiences. So they're talking about what they believe versus what they know. This is why you have all these looks maxing channels. These looks maxing channels believe that, oh, all you have to do is look good and then a chick is going to want you. And you're going to, you know, be getting pussy like crazy if you look good. That's what they believe. You understand what I'm saying? But what they believe is incorrect. And the reason why what they believe is incorrect is because they don't know the game. See, if they knew the game, they would understand that what they're saying is incorrect. But what they're saying is just based on what they believe. And so what happens is that a lot of guys' limited experiences gets them to the point where they start believing certain things. They start to try to connect the dots. This is why our show is called Real Game, No Theory. A lot of guys come up with theories based on what they believe and based off how they've experienced stuff. So a guy will say, man, I'm out here trying to holler at girls and I'm getting rejected. And the reason why I'm getting rejected is probably because I'm not 6 feet. So he believes he has to be 6 feet in order to get more chicks to want to fuck with him. But that's the thought he's having based on his experience, and he's trying to theorize that must be it. And then he goes on the internet and looks at all these other guys saying, yeah, bro, you know, you gotta be 6 foot this, and you gotta have this, and you gotta have that. And so it's more guys who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, having theories about what they think it is. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that when it comes to game, you have to get to the point where you know. See, when you know, that's when you actually have game. When you believe, you're just going based on what you think. You understand? And you're going based on what you think, based on your limited experience and understanding. You understand? So this is why when you guys watch a lot of these guys on the internet that say, goofy shit like, oh, game doesn't exist and you guys got to go overseas to get girls and, women are not going to want you if you don't look like Chad or Tyrone or whatever the fuck else these niggas are saying. That's all things they believe and it's wrong. You understand? Now, from their perspective, they're right, but they're actually wrong. And the reason why they're wrong is because what happens is that they're just speaking from the loser's perspective. See, what they're saying actually isn't wrong because it's right for them in particular, because that's their experience. But there's another side of the experience. The other side of the experience is the guys who actually have game. You understand what I'm saying? So those guys who are saying, well, you got to be 6 feet tall and have a jawline to get women, right? They believe this because they're not 6 feet tall and they don't have the jawline. And therefore, because they're not getting women, they believe that that's the reason, right? And then what happens is that that's not necessarily the reason. It's more so that these guys just don't have fucking game, right? Or what happens is that you have dudes out here who, they're like, oh, these women don't want me. Right? Now, in his reality, he's right because women are not fucking with him. But his reasoning for why women is not fucking with him is because he's not 6 feet tall. But that's not the reason. The actual real reason is because he's insecure. But he doesn't know that. But see, when you have game, you will know that. But he believes it's because he's not 6 feet. So guys, I want you guys to understand how important this is, because what happens is that if you believe, right, that you're having trouble getting women, for example, just because you're not 6 feet, right? What happens is that you're going to move and do certain things based on that belief. So you're going to say, why bother going out to talk to women because I'm 5'10" and, they only want guys who are 6 feet. So they're not going to want me. Why bother, working on my mouthpiece because women want guys who are 6 feet and I'm only 5'10"? Why bother dressing better because women only want guys who are 6 feet? You see what I'm saying? So your beliefs are going to keep you, in the place that you're at. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Now, what I want to do is this. I have a video I want to show. Now, this video I'm about to show you guys, right, is very interesting because I ran across this guy's channel. And I want him to know, because if he sees this, I don't want him to get all butthurt, because, a lot of times when you critique people's stuff, they get, they feel some type of way, they get upset or whatever it is, right? But I want to show this video, and it's from a channel called The Dating Architect. So basically, this is a guy who, on his channel, he was basically making videos, like teaching guys, dating and game and picking up girls and shit like that, right? Now, what's interesting about this guy's channel is I came across this video the other day, and this is the video I'm gonna show you. And the stuff that he's saying, he sounds like the guys who are, the black pill, red pill, and all this other stuff. But what's interesting is this. he had videos years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, where he's, the titles are, some good stuff. I clicked on some of them. He's saying some really good stuff. And then it seemed like he took like a 4-year break or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But then he came back with this video that I'm about to show you. And he sounds like a guy who doesn't know the game. Now, to me, this is very interesting because if you're teaching guys how to attract women and how to understand the game, and then all of a sudden you come back and you sounded like these guys who are basically losers, that's kind of weird. It'll be like, let's say if I stopped doing videos today, right? As I'm recording this is August 10th, 2024. So let's say this is the last video I did for the year. And then let's say 4 years later in 2028, I come back on YouTube and I say, hey guys, the game has changed. These women only want guys who have money. These women only want guys who are 6 feet. These women only want guys who look this way or that way. Right now, you'll be like, what the fuck happened to Locario? Be like, what the fuck happened to Locario? What is he talking about? This is crazy. Who is this guy? Right now, that would kind of make you question if I ever knew what the fuck I was talking about, ever. Because how would I go from teaching you guys how to attract women to now later on acting like you can't attract women? Crazy. But let's bring up this video real quick. And again, I'm not making fun of this dude or anything like that. My voice has been hoarse all day. I hope I ain't getting sick. Shit. You know what I'm saying? But let's look at this video. So the title of this video is called Looks Threshold. Women are way more shallow than you think. Right? You said could be that he decided to grift. That could be it too. That could be it too. Because I know a few motherfuckers who basically they be trying to grift. They're like, oh, let me, these motherfuckers out here, ain't gravitating to this game. So let me start talking the bullshit they talking about. That could be a possibility. Could be. But let's go through this video. And mind you, I want you guys to understand, and again, Dating Architect, I'm critiquing your shit. I just want you guys to understand this. This is not to make fun of you. This is not to get on you. And I actually responded to him in his video. This is why I was so like passionate about what was being said in this video, especially because he's a guy who essentially teaches guys game. And I'm gonna show you guys some of the comments me and him went back and forth on after this video. But let me start. I'm gonna start it, stop it, and we're gonna go into this. Now, what I want you guys to keep in mind that this is a guy who teaches guys game, right? Just keep that in mind. So as we're watching this, I want you to keep that in mind, because remember, there are other guys on YouTube who are teaching you game, and essentially it could get to this point, because when you're hearing this doesn't sound like a guy who knows the game. It sounds like he's talking about what he believes, and this is what I'm talking about, the difference between knowing and believing. But let's start this and see what's going on.
I'm traveling, so my background looks a little different. Anyway, in last time's video, I talked about state and how important it was when you're teaching women. And state, you can just define it as, openness, or some people like to call it timing. If women are open to interaction and possibly further with a man. The way I defined it was basically, is she open to sleeping with you? So you can call it timing, you can call it openness, you can call it something along those lines. That's the
So he's saying that there's this thing called, I guess, state. That sounds like more of like a pickup artist-y term. But he's saying, it's a woman's openness to, I guess, talk to you, interact with you, sleep with you, whatever it is like that. This is the thing. Women are always open to a guy they're attracted to. You understand what I'm saying? Women are always open to guys that they're attracted to. And let me preface this by saying what I'm talking about when I'm talking about attracted. So attraction, when I'm talking about, a woman being attracted to you, and I talk about this in the book, Looks Don't Matter, there's different types of attraction. You have physical attraction, sexual attraction, behavioral attraction, resource attraction, and friendship attraction, right? So if a woman is in any way attracted to you, she is willing to interact with you. You understand? It's really that simple. But let's continue. Let's go.
Most important factor when you are cold approaching women, like during the day or even at night, really, whether you're doing it on the streets or in a nightclub, it's pretty much reliant on her state. That's the most important thing. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about looks threshold, because if a woman is open to being approached by a man, the other limiting factor for you is your looks threshold.
Okay, so now he's going to go into this whole looks threshold thing and all this other stuff. So the funny part about it, when guys talk about looks, right? And again, we're talking about belief, and we're talking about knowing. You said we would appreciate it if you could increase the volume. That's the loudest I could get. That's just his video. So can you guys hear it though? But that's the loudest I could get. You know what I'm saying? So if hopefully you guys could turn up the joint, but that's the loudest I could get. That's just his video and his mic or whatever he's using. You know what I'm saying? But you guys can hear it though, right? You said it's low as hell. Can y'all hear it? You said click on the CC. Oh, you say you want the closed caption. Okay, so I'll play, but I'll say what he's saying if y'all can't hear it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can hear it, if y'all can't hear it that good, turn up your stuff, because this is the loudest it's gonna get. But I put on the closed caption, so if you want it, you can hear it. So you said you could, April, you said you could hear it. Okay, cool. All right, so let's continue.
And there are a wide array of things that fit into the looks threshold. This can be, how tall you are. This can be your race. This can be your age. It just, multiple factors fall into the looks threshold. But it's very important because women like to tell you that it's your personality or compatibility, or it's something else that's the reason that they do not like you or can't get with you, or are not open to something physical with you or something romantic with you.
Okay, so basically what he's saying is, and again, remember, this is a guy who's teaching guys how to get girls, right? Now, so he's saying that, based on your looks threshold, meaning that you have to look a certain way for the particular woman to actually want to make something happen with you, right? Now, what happens with that is that he's half right. And what that means is that when you're dealing with women, right? Depending on what you're trying to do, like let's say you're trying to hook up with a girl, go on dates with her, shit like that, right? So what happens is a woman can't be repulsed by you, right? Because if she's repulsed by you and she's just like can't stand looking at you, she's not going to want to deal with you at all, right? The issue though is that most women you meet are not going to be repulsed by your look. That's one. Now, two, what happens is that the reason why a lot of times talking about the looks and all that other shit is irrelevant is because no matter how you look, you are always going to be outside the scope of what women are into, no matter how you look. So let's say, for example, you know, because he even mentioned race. So I'm a black guy, he's a white guy, right? So let's say, you know, I'm, 6'1" or something. I'm really 5'11", but let's just say I'm 6'1" and I'm jacked and I'm a black guy, right? And I approach a woman and I'm talking to her, but she's not into my look because her type or what she's attracted to physically is white guys. So even though I'm this good-looking black guy, I still don't pass her quote-unquote looks threshold, right? So what happens is that I'm going to go to another woman, and then she might like the way that I look and not like the way that he looks because he's the white guy. So what I'm saying is all of this look shit cancels itself out anyway. Because what's going to happen is that no matter how you look, there are going to be some women who are physically attracted to you and some women who are not physically attracted to you, no matter how good looking you think you are. This is the part that a lot of guys don't get. So what happens is that it balances out. Now, what a lot of guys think is that they actually need to look a certain way in order to be able to approach and have conversations with women, which is a bunch of bullshit. And that's what a lot of guys believe. But when you have game, you know that that's not true. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you approach a girl and you have a conversation with her and you're interacting with her, right? What happens is that if you're talking to a woman and she's interested in having a conversation with you, right? You do not need to be even her type physically, just to have a conversation. And just because you're not a woman's type physically does not mean that she's not physically attracted to you. What does that mean? So let's say, for example, a woman's type, or this particular woman's type, right, is a guy who has muscles. And then you approach her, but you ain't got muscles. But she still thinks you're physically appealing, even though you have no muscles. But her actual ideal type is muscles. She'll still talk to you. She'll still have a conversation with you, right? And even if you're the type of guy she's not that physically attracted to, as long as she's not repulsed by you, she'll still have the conversation with you and interact with you and would still have sex with you if she's sexually attracted to you. Because you do not need to be a woman's physical type in order to be sexually attractive to the woman. But see, guys would know this if they knew the game. But see, what happens is that when you don't know the game, you just go based on what you believe. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happens. You said she might listen to you, but you're more than likely to be relegated to an orbiter for attention and validation. Grandfather, I'm glad you said that, because this is a perfect example of what guys believe but don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. This is what I'm saying. Grandfather, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I've told you guys before, sexual attraction is a combination of your looks, appearance, and behavior. You understand? So what happens is that when a woman interacts with you and she is sexually attracted to you, that is what makes her want to have sex with you. See, you guys got to understand, you do not need to be a woman's physical type in order for her to want to have sex with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And see, in this video, he's going to talk about personality. We're going to get to that a little later, but let's continue, because I want to go into more of what he's saying in here. Let's go.
But it's not that at all. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about how personality is, there's this personality myth out there that if you just have an amazing personality, the women will just flock to you, and it's really not true.
Remember, again, I'm not trying to, listen, he teaches guys how to attract women. And I'm not trying to get on them. I'm just trying to say, guys. So let me get this straight. So when you have any type of relationship with a woman, where let's say you're hooking up with a girl, let's say you're dating a woman, let's say you're in a relationship with a woman, are you saying the personality don't mean nothing? I mean, it's not important? Are we serious? So you look a certain way, and you guys get together, and the girl's just gonna be like this all day with you, just looking at you. Oh my God, you're so cute. You're so dreamy. No, don't say anything. Don't say a word. Don't do anything. Just, oh my, you're so dreamy. Oh my God, you're so, like, what are we talking about? Oh my goodness. Crazy. So Kyle says, to be honest, the game of getting women has changed with them having more options with the internet. The same with rap has changed with the internet. You have really, what? Wait, you really stand out these days? Hold on, let me hit you with the See, Kyle, I'm glad you wrote this again. See, this episode is very important because it's showing, you guys are showing that you don't know what you're talking about. See, this is what Kyle believes, but Kyle doesn't know the game. See, the game has not changed, guys. The game has not changed. See, women, right, have always had options. See, back in the days before, the internet was like a big thing and all that other stuff, I used to go to this thing called house parties, right? And when I would go to the house parties, a lot of the guys would stand on the fucking wall and just look at the girls because they was too pussy to approach women. And also out in my neighborhood, they would have block parties and events and all these other things, right? So what happens is that women never had less options. Women always had options of guys that's trying to get at them or attracted to them, right? What happens is that all the internet did was make it bigger. So if I was at a house party and there was 50 people up in that motherfucker, let's say there was like half and half, 25 guys, 25 girls, right? The girl in there who, let's say there was a cute girl in there, probably 22 of those guys wanted to holler at her. So she still had a number of guys still trying to holler at her. The difference is that the internet made it to where instead of 22 guys, she'll have 220 guys probably trying to holler at her. You see what I'm saying? But she still had a number of guys trying to holler at her. And the guy that she was most attracted to, she would fuck with. The guys who didn't have game didn't get no pussy. Just like when the internet exploded and we got social media and all this other stuff, the guys who can't get pussy still can't get pussy. And the guys who were getting some was able to get it easier. But let's continue though. Let's continue. We're gonna keep it going because we're about to go in.
And I'll talk about my personal experiences with having an amazing personality or amazing dates in the next video. But for this one, I'll just like to focus.
So wait, so if he said he's gonna talk about him having an amazing personality and amazing dates, then what's the issue? So is he saying that he had this amazing personality and amazing dates and, shit just didn't work out because personality ain't really about nothing? Like, is that what he's saying? But let's continue.
On looks threshold and how it limits you. And again, looks is more important than I thought it would be. Ever since COVID, everyone basically jumped on apps and women are using apps way more nowadays, and something has happened. There's been a shift to where your qualities as a man are no longer as important as they were. Like confidence, being able to just come up to him on the street is not appreciated.
What? So he's saying that shit. He's saying he has no birth. That's crazy. So he's saying that because of apps, he's like, I didn't know how important looks were. Because after the pandemic, now all of a sudden, because this is what I'm saying. So in 2020, when the pandemic happened, right? You trying to tell me before 2020, 2018, 2019, 2017, 2016, women were not really all about looks, and you could go out with your amazing personality and talk to these women, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit, and now women are all about looks. So in 2019, 2018, 2017, and before, it wasn't really about looks. Now, after the pandemic, it's all about looks? How? So what happened? What was the shift that all of a sudden, because a bunch of dating apps were created, women just happen to want guys who look good now, and that's it? Like, what shifted in their membrane to where all of a sudden now it's just about that? Doesn't make any sense, but let's continue.
As much as it was pre-COVID, women are becoming more and more shallow. They are focusing more and more on height.
Women have always been shallow. How are they becoming more and more? See, okay, and I'm gonna show you guys as we're going along. This again, remember, belief and knowing. See, what happens is when you don't know, you come up with theories as to why things are happening. Right? When you know why things are happening. But let's continue.
This is especially true in the United States, where it seems like a mind virus has taken over, and women just want a guy, at least 6'2" now. It used to be 6 feet. It seems like every year it's changing. And
so he's saying now women want a guy who is at least 6'2". Now let me ask you guys a question. Remember, keep in mind, he teaches guys how to get and attract women. Shouldn't you know that what women say and what they do are two different things? Shouldn't you know that women will talk all this shit, talking about she want a guy who's 6'2", 6'3"? It sounds like you've been listening to all these podcasts. And then all of a sudden she'll be with a guy who's 5'8", 5'9". Shouldn't we know that what women say they want and what they do is two totally different? This is basic shit. Women say they want a nice guy, but they get with the bad boy. He should know this. This is what I'm saying. What is going on? What is going on? He said, look, Hardy, these women are way more picky with the internet. Average women think they're incredible due to massive internet activity from guys. The game of getting women has changed. Ask these guys. Again, this is what you believe, Kyle. Let me explain to you what's happening. Let me explain to you what it is. It's not that women are getting more picky. Women were always picky. And are you saying, you said average women think they're incredible due to massive internet activity from guys. The game of getting women has changed. Ask these guys. No, see, these guys who are saying it's changed, these are the guys who already were having trouble. You understand? So women are picking the guys who are the best. They've always picked the guys who are the best, right? Back in the day when women, weren't working like they're working now and had their own money like they have now, they would just want the best guy who could provide as far as financially. And we're going to talk about that a little later. But what happens is this. If you're an attractive guy, right? Let's say before the internet was like a big thing and social media was a big thing. If you were the attractive guy, she wanted you. And even when the internet and social media came out, guess what? If you're the attractive guy, guess what? She wants you also. You understand? But let's continue. Let's continue.
You have to be taller and taller. A lot of women are talking about the 6'5", finance, blue eyes, bro. They're imagining this kind of unicorn that does not exist.
Why are we talking about what women are saying they want? A guy who understands the game knows that what a woman says she wants means nothing. What are we talking about here? Remember, this is a guy who's teaching guys how to have game and attract women. So shouldn't you know that women will say one thing and do the next? Shouldn't you know that when women talk on the internet, they're saying and talking about guys they don't like? You understand? Do you understand that women are saying things for clout on the internet? Well, let's continue.
Or, if he exists, it's in very, very, very finite qualities. He's so rare. If you ever, there's a calculator online where you can basically, based on statistics, put in several factors for a male, like 6 foot, making over 200K. There are other factors. I don't know if blue eyes is on there, but certainly there are many factors. You can choose single or divorced. And basically that guy that they're looking for or dreaming about because of Instagram or some of these other apps is basically all in their head, because statistically he is 0.001% of the.
But see, this is the thing. He should know better than this. He should know better than this. So why is he talking about what women are saying they want when he should know better? Again, this is what I'm saying, the difference between knowing and believing, because then what happens is it gets to the point where it's showing you don't really know. You understand what I'm saying? And you're just talking about what you believe. And believing has part to do with not being sure, which is why you have to believe. Let's continue.
The population. So he's not even 1% of the population. It's basically, he's around 1 in maybe 10,000. And there are so many girls that are dreaming that this is going to be the guy that I get with. And maybe they do get with him for a night, but that guy has so many options. He will usually not settle, because why would you? Why would you settle for one when you can have 20?
See, why is he? So he's talking about the type of guys, women on the internet and social media say they want. And then they're like, well, if he's that guy, then he's not going to settle. And, he only wants them for that one time, whatever. My question to him would be, but why are you talking about this? Like, what does this have to do with you? And what does this have to do with any guy out there doing his thing to attract the women he wants? See, the issue really is this, is that when you don't know the game, you fall into these talking points and you start to believe these talking points because these talking points are more reflective of your reality, which means that you don't actually understand the game like that. Let's continue.
20, unless that one was really, really amazing. But how many girls are on the same level, even looks wise, personality wise, for that guy to settle with them? So this has been going around, and it seems looks are becoming more and more important every day, because women now have equal rights thanks to feminism. Guys are being taxed, and there are so many programs that help women now.
See, and this is what I said about believing versus knowing. He said, and I want you to pay attention to this. He said, looks are becoming way more important because women have equal rights, right? And feminism and all these things. Essentially what he's saying is, because women have more autonomy, right? then what happens is that now they can choose guys they really want. They don't have to get with guys they need. They can be with guys they actually want, which is true. But what he's equating it to is women, because they can choose who they want now and they don't have to be with a man because of his money and they don't need a man to take care of them. What he's equating that to is that now women are going after guys who are just good looking because he thinks, oh, well, women can get a guy who's they're way more attracted to. Well, what he doesn't understand is the attraction just isn't about good looks. See, women are getting with guys who they are attracted to, but most of these guys are not attractive, even if they're good looking. Listen to what the fuck I'm saying. Women can get with guys that they're attracted to, but most of these guys are not attractive, even if they're good looking. What the fuck does that mean, Locario? That means that there are guys out there, right, who don't have game. And because they don't have game and they're not physically appealing, the women are not attracted to them. Then there are guys who are physically appealing and they don't have game. And the women still aren't attracted to them because they don't have game. So what happens is that a man who has game, a man who's actually attractive, that's what the woman wants. But he's equating attractive strictly to looks or mainly to looks. But again, if you know the game, you would know this. But when you don't know the game, you're just talking about what you believe. You see what I'm saying? This is what guys do. So what happens is he's like, damn, well, these women are, just wait, they because of feminism and this and this and that, things have changed. No. Women have always wanted the guy they were attracted to, but they would settle for the guy who was financially fit because she was like, I need him to survive. Now that she doesn't need that because she can get her own shit, now she can be like, oh, I can go get a guy I actually like. But the guy she actually like is the guy she's attracted to. Her being attracted to the guy is not just based on looks. You see what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Going to college than ever, like 60-40. But the women still want a guy that is making more money than them. So even though more of them are going to college and have the possibility to make more money than a guy, they are still looking for a guy that makes more money.
See, the woman is going to want a guy who makes more money in a few cases. If she doesn't like him like that, so the money is like, well, I don't really like you, so you got to have something for me to deal with you at some point. Even though I have my own money, you can take me out on trips, spend money on me, buy me gifts. I'll take that while I'm going and fucking the guy I actually am attracted to. So they'll do that. Also, sometimes what happens is that a woman is looking for a guy as far as money is concerned if she's taking him seriously for long-term situations, right? Or you still have some gold diggers out there who are just like, fuck that. I'm just going to use this motherfucker for his money, right? But what happens is that it's not this thing where, you have to have a lot of money, because you have a lot of women out there who will fucking give this dude anything he wants and he's broke. You understand? You have women out here who will risk it all for this guy. He ain't got no fucking money. You understand what I'm saying? But let's continue.
So, yeah, that's another thing. But anyway, we're talking about looks here. Yeah, I just want to say there's a looks threshold. So when you approach on the street, and this is mostly for cold approach again, this is not women through social circle or women that are kind of friends through some sporting event, or maybe you have some kind of, I don't know, drinking group or something. It's not somebody you kind of sort of know or have contact with regularly, like at work. It's just off the street. They do have a looks threshold, and some women's looks threshold are higher. They care more about how good looking you are, how tall you are, and some are lower. You'll never know again. What I've tended to find is the ones that are very intelligent, the ones that appreciate intelligence, like sapiosexuals, they're called. They get turned on by a man being very intelligent.
That sapiosexual shit is a bunch of bullshit. So the thing is, a woman will like a guy who's smart, but she likes the smart guy she's attracted to. You understand what I'm saying? See, a lot of guys a lot of guys get confused. They'd be like, oh, women are really, they really sexually attracted to guys who are funny. No, she likes the guy she's sexually attracted to, and he just happens to be funny. She likes the guy she's sexually attracted to, and he happens to be really, really smart. You understand what I'm saying? Let's continue.
It's a subset of the population, a small subset, but they usually do not care about looks as much as the general population. That's the only exception to the rule that I've found. Like usually if it's a very intelligent woman and she appreciates intelligence in the man, she'll be less impressed by looks. She usually cares about other qualities that a man possesses. All right, so if a woman is in state when you approach her, usually if you meet the looks threshold and she's open, that's usually the woman that will go on an Insta date with you or will go on a date with you later.
See, this is what I want to ask. And I'm gonna have to put him on 125 speed because he talks slow as hell. Hold on. Let me change the speed because the joint is super slow. So my question to a guy like him would be, okay, I approach a girl and I talk to her. I say, hey, miss, how are you today? She's like, oh, I'm fine. How are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm amazing. And I'm like, my name is Locario. What's your name? And she's like, oh, my name is Jennifer. I'm like, Jennifer, nice to meet you. Now, I'm having this conversation with this woman. At what point do I know that she's having this conversation with me or decides to interact with me and continue to interact with me, or I decide to, she decides to take my number or whatever. At what point do I know it's because of, I passed her looks threshold? Like, at what point do I talk to her do I say, hey, miss, I just need to know, are you talking to me because of I passed your looks threshold, or are you talking to me just because of some other, like, how do you know? What's the criteria to let you know you've passed her looks threshold? Is it her just talking to you, period? You understand what I'm saying? So if I is it just the talking? So if I ask a woman, hey, miss, do you know where Main Street is? If she responds to me, does that mean I passed her looks threshold because she's having a conversation? She's answering my question. Like, this is what I don't understand. You understand? Man, Kyle, you are the perfect example of a guy who doesn't know the game and understand the game. You're talking about what you believe. You said, isn't the Pop the Balloon show proof of how goofy women are to looks and height, game, or money? Doesn't even get a chance if she's rejecting. Playing the heavy numbers game is the way for most guys. Kyle, remember, I said this. Once a camera is out, authenticity is not there. I'm going to say it again. Once a camera is out and the woman is aware a camera is out, authenticity is not there. Period. I keep trying to tell you guys, when you know you're being watched, right? It's going to alter what you would have naturally done. Do you understand what I'm saying? It alters what you would have naturally done. I used this example before. If you was beaten off in your house, right, in your fucking bedroom or some shit while you're watching porn, and let's say you got your pants off and you whacking your shit. If somebody said, hey, Just to let you know, we're going to put cameras in your house next week, and it's going to be in all the rooms except for your bathroom. You know what you're going to start doing? You're going to start going to the bathroom to beat off, even though you've always beat off in your fucking room. Why? Because now you know a camera's there. It alters what you would do. Correct? So this is what I'm saying. When you guys try to use these examples, I'm like, bruh, this is why when we was in Miami, we was like, look, we're just talking. Because I already know once the girl sees the camera is there, and I'm showing her the camera's there, so she knows she's being filmed, anything she says or does doesn't even matter at that point. But let's continue.
And we'll come back to your place if she's in state. The ones that are rejecting you are either not in state or you didn't meet the looks threshold. And there's no way to know. I talk about this in the next video as well, but there's no way to know if it's her state or your looks threshold. She's never going to tell you. It's always women are non-confrontational. They always have some excuse to let you down easy, like, oh, we're not.
So if a woman's never going to tell you that it's your looks threshold or and all that other shit, then what the fuck is the point of talking about this? You said, what is state? That's a pickup artist term. I guess he was saying her willingness to be open, but it's really a woman's willingness to be open is dependent upon the man talking to her. So it's not, so I don't even understand that shit. Because if I go up to the woman and she don't want to talk to me, but you go up to the woman and she's like, oh, hey, what up? Like, what did her state change within 2 minutes? Because you showed up? Like, what? I don't understand. What the fuck are we talking about here? But let's continue.
Not compatible, or, you know, where I'm just not looking for a guy right now, even though she just went on a date with you, or, you know, I'm not in that period of my life where I can focus on anyone else right now. But it's usually BS. It's usually you did not meet the looks threshold. Now, can there be guys that are weird or creepy or needy? Yes, but that's usually like a very, very, very small subset of dudes. The majority of dudes are normal. And
no, the majority of dudes don't have game. You see what I'm saying? The majority of dudes believe this type of shit. The majority of dudes don't know what the fuck they're doing. But let's continue.
And, women, you know, they can lie to you and tell you all kinds of things that, you know, you're not compatible or something else, but it usually falls to your looks threshold. Or
so basically what he's saying is you go out with a girl or you're talking to a girl on the phone and you're trying to make something happen and she rejects you. It's because of your looks. You didn't meet her looks threshold. So it had nothing to do with the fact that you're needy, clingy, weird. None of that played into account. None of it. So my thing is, if it's all about looks or the looks is the important thing, why would she even bother, right, to go through all of that to give you her number, meet you at a date and all that other shit when she already knows, oh, well, I don't like the way this guy looks. What would be the fucking point? Unless she's trying to use you for attention and to try to extract stuff out of you. But if that's the case, why would she then now say, well, hey, you know, I don't feel like seeing you anymore and I don't feel like wanting to be with you? Does that even make any sense? Like, so if it's about your looks and the looks threshold, and then she takes your number, you give her your number, y'all go out, and then all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to fuck with you no more. Now it's because of your looks. Didn't she see how you look before you gave her the number? But let's take a call real quick. We're gonna go to 813. 813 was popping. Who this?
Hey, this is Nate. I donated on the Venmo.
Nate, hold on. Let me double check. You said the Venmo?
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Appreciate it. So what's going on, fam?
No, I just wanted to add something real quick based on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
I have 100%, you know, like no homo, like look like pretty good, whatever. They're complaining about a girl that's like a dime, like with just like a normal looking guy. Like, I look better than that guy. Like, what does she see in him and all this shit? So it's like there's complaints on all levels of the spectrum. Yeah, like this guy who's saying he's like having difficulty. So it's all about looks. Then you get guys that like obsessed with looks, like that maybe lack personality or game and don't see it. And then they're like bitching about the fact that they're like, oh, these girls are like with these other guys when like I look better, like it must be about like money or something else. So it's like, no matter what your blind spot is, you're always gonna like complain and then like base it on like and just say it's based on something else rather than just like looking internally and saying what the issue would be. Because like you just see it all the time. Like there's like girls that look really fucking good, just with like an average guy. You just see it like all the time, and you see like you get like good looking guys that'll just like complain about that, but they don't realize that they're lacking whatever personality, whatever they're lacking that the girl doesn't see. So it's like it's all just based on game, like what you're saying. And like I don't know how this guy doesn't see that when you're walking around the world, there's girls with all types of guys based on like looks or whatever.
Right.
So it's like 100% right what you're saying. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you go outside, you can see the number of different types of guys with different types of girls. You see guys that you would consider average looking with hot chicks all the fucking time. It's like, what the hell, man? This shit crazy.
I know, it's like you don't go outside and see what's going on. You know?
It's crazy, man. But yeah, anything else? Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it, man. That's why I just wanted to add in like the part. Like I've heard the good-looking jack, like tattooed guys, whatever, complaining about the fact that a girl is with just an average-looking guy. It's crazy, so.
Right. That's what's up. All right, bro. Well, I appreciate the call, brother.
Take care.
I'll let you. All right. Let me go back to this real quick. Let's see. All right. Let me go back to this. Let me start this. All right, here we go.
Maybe she can't be seen with you because you're a different race and she has like a stigma from her family or from, her peers or something like that, to where she thinks, oh, okay, well, there's too much pressure on her. And women do not like social pressure. They do not like being judged. They fear it. They would rather, die than disappoint the group or be judged by the group somehow. This is why you have women saying, oh, don't slut shame me, or don't, like they'll judge dudes based on height. They'll be like, yeah, height's important. But when somebody asks them, okay, what's your weight? There's a guy online.
But the question is, why is this important? If I'm going out there talking to women, and let's just say, let's go with this looks threshold shit, right? I'm going and I talk to 10 girls. Let's say 8 of them don't like the way I look, but 2 do. And I talk to those 2. I get their numbers. We exchange numbers or whatever. We go out. We fuck. I have a good time. Why would I care that the other 8 weren't interested in me because of my looks? Like, why would I care? Why don't I just find the women who like the way I look, if that's the case? If we're going to go with the looks thing and that be the end all be all, why not just go and find the women who are attracted to how you look? Like, I don't understand what the issue is, but let's continue.
On Instagram, he was putting up a scale. He's like, so is height important? And women were like, oh, yes, it's important. And then he would throw down a scale and be like, okay, well, hop on the scale because I think weight's important. And the women wouldn't. None of them would touch that scale. And they'd be like, why are you so sexist? But it's like, okay, height is your preference. Why don't you get on the scale? Because weight is my preference.
See, and this is what beta males do. Beta males like to go tit for tat with women. Because he was saying that women have this height preference, but the guy was like, oh, well, stand on the scale. I have a weight preference. And oh, why is she so upset that I have a... It's like, nigga, why are you going tit for tat with women? See, again, if you know and understand the game, you would know that women are going to react this way and that way because of a certain thing. And you should know as a man, you don't need to dabble in the type of shit that women are doing. You just lead the fucking woman. That's it. Well, let's continue.
And height you can't control, but your weight you can't control. Just eat less, exercise. But it just shows you the hypocritical nature of women. They were all saying height's important, but none of them wanted to get on the scale. They ran from that scale like it was poison or something.
Hold on, let me pause this for a second. We got 786. 786 was popping. Who this?
Hey, hi. This is Ryder. I donated to you on what's it called? That online. I forget, but PayPal.
Hold on, let me double check.
My initials are DB.
DB. All right.
Yeah.
I got you. Appreciate it, man. So what's going on with you, man?
I want to disagree with the last caller who called in, and he said when you approach, he said something when you go, and I'm his words wrong, correct me, Lucario, but I think he said something along the lines of when a man is a woman, and it fails with the woman and gets rejected, well, there's something wrong with him and he needs to look within himself or see what's wrong. I disagree with that. I disagree that, yeah, sometimes there's something wrong with the guy, but I disagree with this whole notion that whenever a guy approaches a woman and he gets rejected, that means there's something wrong with him. I think you could be a guy who's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You've got your stuff together. You can approach a woman and still get rejected. I disagree with this whole notion that, whenever you get rejected, we have to default to this idea that there's something wrong with the man, and as a result, he needs to go on some type of self-discovery or self-improvement journey. We have been on this self-improving thing, our journey, as a culture, as men within this culture for the past, I would say 15, 20 years.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, you was breaking up. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. No, and I'll say this. So what happens is there's nothing, because rejection's going to happen, period. That's going to happen regardless. The only thing is there's something wrong with the guy if he is trying to, or if he is like upset at women for rejecting him or trying to avoid rejection by not taking action. Like that's the thing that's wrong. It's not anything of him getting rejected, like, oh, well, there's something wrong with you getting rejected. Now, the thing is this, if you keep doing something that is causing you to make it, easier for you to get rejected, then that's something you need to improve or fix in your situation so that you can actually get more women who want to, fuck with you. But the thing is that just getting rejected in itself is not the thing, like you're doing something wrong, because rejection's going to happen, period. See, and this is what I always say. I always say to guys, make sure everything on your end is right. Do you see what I'm saying? So if everything on your end is right, then that means that it's not you, because it's everything on your end is right. So meaning, for example, like sometimes I'll have a person that comes in here and they'll be in a chat and they'll be like, yo, I can't hear, the sound is off. Right? But no, my mic's working, everything is good and everyone else can hear me. So on my end, everything is good. But on their end, there's something wrong with their computer. Do you see what I'm saying? So as long as I'm doing what I need to do on my end, then it's all good. Now, if I was doing something messed up on my end, then it would be like everyone's like, yo, I can't hear you, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. That means on my end I'm fucking up. So then therefore it's something that I'm doing. So if you're getting rejected, right? And there might be something you're doing wrong, which is why you're just getting rejected all the time. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying, and what you're saying. I totally get it. I'll just end with this last point. I think when some guys approach women, I think that yes, there are some guys, you're right, who just really need to focus on improving certain aspects of themselves. But I think too often we don't put the hot seat and you said we don't do what? Realize that there's something. Sometimes a lot of times there's something wrong with the woman. They have flaws in their character, and there are flaws within the feminist culture in the society where there's something wrong with them, and a lot of times that's why approaches and interactions between men and women go bad, or they don't end up getting together, or the man gets rejected. Sometimes there's something wrong with the woman.
What do you think is wrong with the woman?
I think one thing I would say, I could think of a couple things. One thing, one problem as to why I think a lot of approaches end in rejection, and why certain interactions go badly. I think women's hypergamy. I think their hypergamy is out of control, and I think their hypergamy is on steroids.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. So, what type of women do you like? Well, like, give me an example of a woman you would find attractive and want to like have sex with and date or whatever. Like, describe to me like how she looks and her kind of like her personality.
A type of woman I would want to have sex with.
Right.
That Indian lady that one of the Jonas brothers is married to. I don't.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I think it's
I want to have sex with her.
Right. Okay. So now, let's say a girl who looks the opposite of that. Let's say you have a girl who's like, 400 pounds and she ain't got no teeth, and her breasts smell like fish, and she approached you and was like, "Hey, I want to get at you," and you rejected her. Does that mean there's something wrong with you?
No, absolutely not.
But why not? But you rejected her. There got to be something wrong with you.
No, but I think a lot of women have very unreasonable standards.
What's unreasonable? What's unreasonable about this? Give me an unreasonable standard women have.
For example, I've seen TikTok videos of young women saying, "I want to." For example, I've seen women who are very short. I've seen TikTok videos of women who are very short, like they're 4'10", 4'11", saying they want to date a guy who's 6 foot tall, and they refuse to date a guy who's under 6 foot.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. That woman who said that, have you seen her in person and seen the guy she's dated?
No, I have not.
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. Fuck what women are saying. Women just talk, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Just because she's saying it doesn't mean, okay, like for example, you just said you want that Indian girl. Does that mean that a woman that's listening to this program is like, man, the caller on Locario show, he said he wanted that Indian girl. So I'm not an Indian girl. I don't look like her. So I could never get him. Would that make sense for her to say that?
I guess not.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So you're just talking about a preference that you would like. That's the same thing women do. A woman will say, man, I want Channing Tatum because Channing Tatum is so hot and sexy and blah, blah, blah. Cool. Who gives a fuck? But you'll see the guy she's dating look nothing like Channing Tatum. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between the internet and social media versus real life. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of these guys, especially the guy that and the guy that I'm showing the video of, the problem is that when you don't know game, you end up buying into what society is saying because society is running game on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. When you don't know game, society's going to run game on you, and you're going to start to think these things that aren't real.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, right. I see what you mean. I respect that. I will end by saying, for guys out there who want to learn the game, get gamed up, do your thing, that's fine. But don't yourself up too much, man. Like, not everything is like when you're trying to deal with the opposite gender. Not everything is your fault. It's not always your fault.
No. Everything is your fault, though. That's what you have to understand. Everything is your fault. I say the same thing with a woman. Everything that she is going through is her fault. So tell me something that's not your fault in the dating game.
Well, I would say that I hear on the Bumble app. I think what is it? Men under 6 foot 6'1" don't get a lot of matches or some shit. I'm 6'1". That's not my fault. So if I go on an app like a dating app like Bumble and I don't do well, that's not my fault. I'm not 6'1". I mean, what am I supposed to do about that?
So wait. So you think that you wouldn't be doing well because of the fact that you're 6'1"?
Not on Bumble, probably.
But that's what I'm saying. And you know why? You know why it's your fault? I'm gonna tell you exactly. It's real simple. The reason why that's your fault is because you didn't learn game, so therefore you're thinking the wrong information. So that's your fault. You see what I'm saying? So it's your fault for not attracting the women that you could attract, because if you knew the game and understood the game, you wouldn't believe that it's because you're not 6'1". And then that would mean the action you took would be different because you have different information that will propel you to take different action, which means you would have a different outcome. So that is your fault. So whenever you're ignorant about something, that's your fault because you didn't know the information. If you knew the information, you would have got the thing you're trying to get.
I guess.
You see what I'm saying?
I guess I see what you're saying. I guess we'll just agree to disagree. It's fine. We agree to disagree.
Oh, man. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate the call, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Peace. See, guys, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. See, there's a difference between knowing and believing. Guys, if you don't know the game, you're going to believe bullshit. I'm telling you, this is how it works. See, all the stuff he was talking about was stuff he believed because he didn't know. Because if you know, then you're not going to say those things that you believe because you would know. You see what I'm saying? So like, I don't have to say, man, I believe this is a toaster. No, I know it's an iPhone. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm going to say, you know what, guys? This toaster right here is bullshit because I put a slice of bread on this and it didn't toast. This shit is whack, bro. Toasters don't work. It's like, actually, it's an iPhone. You just don't know it's an iPhone. You believe it's a toaster. And that's why you're not getting the results you want. Because if you know what a toaster is, you would use the toaster and not think the iPhone is the toaster. You see what I'm saying? So this is what happens. A lot of you guys believe shit that is incorrect. And that's why you're not getting where you want to go. You see what I'm saying? That's why you're not getting where you want to go. Now let me speed up this journal. I'm gonna put this on 1.5 speed. There's a few more things I want him to go over. And then we're gonna do this.
So yeah, realize that there is a threshold, and I'll talk about more about this in the next video as well, to where you will go on a date sometimes and everything will be going great, and you don't even know at the end why she won't let it progress. So she'll either make it awkward when you try to make things sexual or like touch her, or sometimes even when you're looking really deep into their eyes, they'll be like, oh, what? And it kind of kills the mood, it kills the vibe, it kills that sexual or romantic connection.
So he said sometimes you would look at her eyes and she'd be like, what? Again, see, and you got to understand context. See, there's a difference between a girl saying, what are you looking at? Versus a girl like, what? And because she's flirting with you. Right now, there are times where girls could say shit and do shit, and based off their tone, is showing they're not interested. But what he just said has to be in a specific context. What context are we talking about with what she says? You understand? So context also matters. But again, that's something you would know if you understand the game. But let's continue.
That you're trying to build with her, they'll purposefully make it awkward. And you're wondering, okay, well, I'm not making it awkward. Why is this so awkward? It's because she is making it awkward. She is trying to kill the vibe. She is trying to kill that sexual potential, or she's trying to kill that sexual tension that you were trying to build between the two of you. She's purposefully shutting it down. Because
so again, who's leading in the situation? I thought the man is leading in the situation. So if anything is awkward, the man's making it awkward. Because men lead, women follow. You understand? So the thing is that how is she shutting it down when you're supposed to be the one that shuts the shit down, if anything? You understand what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Because like I said, you don't meet the looks threshold, and she's not attracted because of that. And to all the people that are saying, oh, personality matters and all this, I want to say it's definitely BS. It's exaggerated how much emphasis dudes in society at large are saying, like, personality matters. It really doesn't matter that much. And as much as don't be weird, which most guys are not, don't be creepy, which most guys are not, and don't be needy, which some guys are, I admit it. You know, everybody has their needy periods.
So he said personality doesn't really matter, and it's just down to being, don't be needy, don't be weird, and don't be creepy. Really? So what aspects of your personality that matter that are attractive? What about, what do we, okay. So if personality doesn't matter, what is the attractive qualities that you're leaving out of personality that actually matter? Because like I said, if personality doesn't matter, what is she experiencing when she realizes you've passed her looks threshold? Right? What is she experiencing? She's staring at you all day? Let's go to 818. 818, what's popping? Who this?
Hey, Mr. Lucario, it's Coach Grand Cam. Can you hear me?
Coach Grand Cam in the building. What's going on, fam? Appreciate the donation, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Lucario. So I wanted to extend gratitude in an observation that I had, a breakthrough that I had during your live session. So ever since I've been getting mentored by you when I would call into your shows since like 2020, what I didn't realize back then was that you were training myself and everyone else from your community and anyone else that listens to you, that you're helping us think way more autonomously. And what I've come to the conclusion when I was listening to your call is just like, man, you know, the whole time he was helping us think like VIP type people, because the VIP people, they don't think in the hives, they don't think in the masses, they think for themselves,
right? And
they think selfishly in a very healthy way. Now I know there's VIP out there that they don't think like this, but the way that I interpret your message is you helped me be way more individualistic, and you allowed me to think for myself for once in my life instead of thinking what my parents want, what my friends wanted, and what society as a whole wanted for me.
Right. Real talk.
And I just appreciate, because like when people call into your show and they're talking about women this, women that, what they don't realize is that, you know, women have the right to be autonomous and have self-expression. So if you're training us to have self-expression for ourselves, why shouldn't women have the freedom to do that as well?
Exactly. Real talk. That is facts.
Yeah. And Ms. Lucario, I have one more person that's very dear in my life that wants to extend gratitude to you as well. Here you go.
Hi, Mr. Lucario. It's Atiana.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? How you been?
I'm doing well. I also wanted to express some gratitude for you. Just your mentorship for Cam. And I know that I didn't see him before, like when he was calling into the show, but I can just feel the growth that he's had as a man. And he's been the best boyfriend I've ever had. He's so mature, so authentic. And not only has he done it for himself, but he brought me, a chaotic woman that was very toxic, to authenticity, to where now I add value, I give, I grow, and I just listen to his leadership and trust him, and he's just a real man. And I just want to express that gratitude for everything that you share on the show. You know, Cam and I we listen to the show, and we get gamed up as well when we're driving. Well, when he's driving and I'm passenger princess, but we get gamed up from you. And I just want to thank you for our friendship that we've built with you and April and the rest of the Real Game No Theory panel.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. Real talk. And you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. You guys are awesome because, and guys, you know, we was out there in Vegas, and you know, we was eating dinner and everything was on point. And you know what I'm saying? Like, guys, this is what we talk about. So you see Grand Cam here, and he's doing his thing. He has his lady. Y'all are doing y'all thing. And this is what the game is about. This is what happens when you actually love yourself, you know what I'm saying? And believe in yourself, and you attract women, and those women that you attract their quality. This is how it works. This is what we've been trying to tell you guys all the time.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much, Mr. Lucario. That's the end of our call. Just extending a tremendous amount of gratitude for you and the whole Real Game No Theory panel. You're literally, you know, take it out however way you want, Mr. Lucario, but you're a prophet in our eyes. Like, you literally have changed the world. You have helped both of us become so much more autonomous. And, you know, I just have so much love for you, man. I'm always here to help give you testimonials, and you're the real deal, Ms. Lucario, and everyone else in Real Game No Theory.
Now, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that. Remember, it was all you. It was all y'all. So that's what I try to get y'all to understand, is that I'm here to help, but always remember it's you. It's not me. I'm just here to like help guide it along. You feel what I'm saying? So I want to, you know, appreciate you guys for actually doing y'all thing and recognizing the truth in y'all. That's what I'm talking about. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I love to hear.
Thank you so much for everything.
Yes, sir. I'm out at you, man.
Talk to you soon, brother.
Appreciate it. You see, guys, this is what happens when you take the game seriously. This is what happens when you take the game seriously. You feel what I'm saying? It's like we try to tell you guys that when you have game, these are the positive and beneficial situations that you're in. You understand what I'm saying? This is how it works. So all the guys who are complaining about women and all this other stuff, when a woman sees a man who's on point, she becomes on point because he inspires her to be better. You understand? He inspires himself. She's inspired by him. She's inspired by that leadership. He brings out something she didn't even see in herself. That's what we're trying to tell you guys. So a lot of times you guys that are, complaining about women, you guys are actually doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing the women a disservice because women are counting on you to help them and show them the way too. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why women like guys who are leaders, who are strong, who know where they're going and all that other stuff, because you're an example, right? Whenever you're sitting there complaining about women, blaming everything on women, worrying about what the fuck women are doing, right? You're going to get that negative energy back in return. You see what I'm saying? So you guys got to understand how important that is. All right. Well, let me let's try to wrap this up real quick. We'll go a little bit more on this. We ain't got to go through the whole thing, but I want to see some more that he's saying on here.
Or maybe for a particular girl, but it's not as all that is, the personality is not as important as dudes and girls.
And what's funny about this part is he's talking about the personality is not important. You know how much personality Grand Cam has? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? Shout out to Afi in the building. Afi is in the building. What's going on? What's going on? But this is what I'm saying, but let's continue.
It out to be. It's mainly a myth. So my advice for you would be to hit the gym hard, do all you can to improve your looks, whether that's, I would go as far as saying maybe if you have something, particularly, unattractive on your face, like maybe a big mole somewhere or something that is just making you bring your looks down, I would go as far as saying maybe get surgery for it or, do all you can.
Remember, keep in mind, guys, this is a guy who's teaching guys how to attract women. Again, being the best looking you can be is awesome. But guess what? That happens automatically when you are a guy who has game. You understand that? That happens automatically. Because listen, I'm telling you, I fucking take care of my shit. You understand? Every time before I do a live stream, I'm like getting my outfit ready and shit. I'm shaving. You understand what I'm saying? I'm making sure I'm looking good. And the reason why is because I care. I give a shit about how I look. You understand? But the reason why I give a shit about how I look is because I love my fucking self. See, when you have game, you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you treat yourself awesome, which means you're automatically going to look your best. So what these guys are saying is these guys are insecure and they're trying to fix the outside, but the inside is still shit. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. So guys, you got to understand how important this game is, man. But let's continue.
Fresh haircuts, work really hard on your style. It won't help that much, your style. Like all these guys think, oh, if you just work on your fashion. Girls don't care that much about it.
He just said girls don't care about your style and your fashion. What? What? You can't be serious. You cannot be serious. Again, like I said, sex appeal is a combination of your looks, like your face, body, your appearance, what you put on and how you put yourself together, and your behavior. Like, he really think women don't care about your style and appearance? Like, what? Do you know there's sometimes where you could be wearing a certain thing that'll get a girl's attention just because you got on a certain type of sneakers, because you're wearing a certain type of shirt, a hat, a scarf, something that makes her say, oh, that's kind of fly. What are we talking about? Come on, man. Let's continue.
But it will help some, a little bit. It'll give you a little boost, and every little boost helps. But do all you can to improve your looks, to, you know, have clear skin, have good hair, have a healthy look to you, because looks are becoming increasingly important in today's society because women are becoming increasingly superficial. If you look around, men aren't needed like they were before. Like most women now can be very independent. A man's not needed for his income. I told you more women are going to college than ever. So
exactly, this is what I was talking about earlier. He said it. Women don't need the guys for the money. So now women can go after the guys they actually want. But see, you just worrying about how you look is not going to make you the guy she actually wants, because he's downplaying personality. So now she thinks you look good, and let's say she's attracted to you because of the way you look, and let's say she's having a conversation with you as you approach her and you're talking to her, and then she realizes your personality sucks, you're insecure, right? You ain't got no mouthpiece, and then she ain't trying to fuck with you. She's not trying to fuck with you, but let's continue.
So hypergamy has taken over, and women want the best of the best, even if that means.
Oh man, you said hypergamy, but let's go.
Most of them are going to be alone, and I think this will be the new reality. It's because they're chasing these kind of unicorn guys. I don't want to say quite unicorns, but you know what I'm saying. Like this 6'5", blue-eyed billionaire, and he exists mostly in their minds because he's basically online, but he's maybe in New York, and he's wanting.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this right here real quick because I want to show you guys something. Let me show you guys his channel right now. This is what I find interesting. Let me do the full screen on this. Hold on. Let me do the full screen on this. Let me try to get it this way. Now, just based on again, I'm not making fun of this guy. I am not if he sees this, I want you to know I'm not making fun of you. I just want to point something out. I want to point something out, right? So let's go to his channel real quick. Now, based on what you just heard, right? Let's look at where was this other one I want to show you guys. Let me go to the videos. Now, check this out. Check this out right here. Now, this video I'm about to show you was done 4 years ago. Now, mind you, remember, this video I'm about to show you right now was done 4 years ago. Now, I want you to look at the title of this video. Look at the title of this video. Hold on, let me move it up. The title of this video is, and this is the same guy. 4 years ago, he made a video called "Real Men Do Not Complain." This is the same guy. This is the same guy. So how do you 4 years ago, right, do a video called "Real Men Do Not Complain," and then you do a whole video complaining about women in today's society? You see what I'm talking about? This is crazy. And again, like I said, I'm not trying to shit on the guy. I'm just trying to make a point, right? And see, now what I want to show y'all real quick is I want to show you guys some screenshots. So what happened was, for the video that we was just talking about, showing with the looks threshold video that we was just showing, right? Let me take some of this off so we can see the entire thing, the entire screenshot real quick, right? Because I want you to see this whole thing. So look at this screenshot. So, because after I watched this video, I was concerned. So, because usually I don't really like I do a lot of comments on Instagram, but I hardly ever comment on YouTube, right? But I was compelled to comment on this shit. Now let me remove this so I can see this better. Hold on. So this was the comment that I wrote under the video, right? So I said, come on, bro. How is your channel about dating and game, but you sound like one of these red pill / black pill guys with no game? So then he responded and said, I approach daily. This is just what I have observed from high volume approach. I could lie and say game is all you need, guys, and sell some subscription services like you, but I'm stating what I see as a daily practitioner. You notice all the big PUA approaches disappeared. It's easy to make theoretical videos about approach and women, quite another to approach daily. The irony, right? And so I responded to, because he said in this, you notice all the big PUA approaches disappeared, right? So he's saying a lot of the PUA videos of guys approaching, there is not a lot of them on there. Now, again, you guys know I don't do pickup artist shit, right? But the thing is that he's saying that this is something he's seeing, now all of a sudden, he's approaching and shit just isn't popping off. So he doesn't realize it's him and not the actual women. But let's this is what I wrote to him. I said, so what happened from a few years ago with your other videos? Did the women change or did you change? I said, I also approach, why am I having a different experience than you? Is it because I passed the woman's looks threshold? Laughing my ass off. I'm actually writing this not to be antagonistic. I think it just sucks because you have good advice, but you sound like you are giving up. Because I was looking at his other videos and I'm like, bro, with your other videos, you actually have good advice. Like this video here where he's talking about real men don't complain. That's good fucking advice. So what happened to that guy? You see what I'm saying? So again, what happens is, is he, does he know what he's saying? Does he know the game, or is he believing certain things that caused him to get to the point where now he's believing these other things? Well, let me show you this other thing. So he writes this and he says, I always talked about cold approach and rejection. Those still apply. Again, this video is for cold approach, where you do not know the woman. I approached anywhere from 10 to 50 women a day, and I just noticed it is harder than before. I'm not giving up, just stating what I see. It's funny because guys comment on my videos, but if I took one out in the field to cold approach, he would crumble, especially from the rejection. And I do quite okay for myself. I am just saying women have become more shallow, right? And see, this is the issue. The issue is that, and see, I was about to say that too. You see, April called it. He said he was coasting on his look. So let me bring this up real quick. Let me bring this up real quick again, right? Because if you look at this video, let me bring this up again just really quick, right? Let me do that right there. Now, if you look at this video,
meeting like through social circle.
This is the one 4 years ago, right? So if you look at this video, he looks a little bit more clean cut here, like a little bit more cleaner. You know what I mean? Got a nicer haircut or whatever. Looks like he had a little bit better hairstyle or something or whatever, right? But then when you look at the other video, let's back it up real quick. Look at this video, right?
And he's one in 10,000, maybe one in 50,000.
So,
and a lot of women are dreaming about this guy because of.
So when you look at this video right here,
social media, what they're promoting, and
right, he looks a little different. He looks a little different, right? So there could have been situations where before, because he looked more put together, right? and he could have been more confident based on the way he was looking before, where, you know, he was trying to coast on that. Because again, what happens is this: you have guys, and this is what we call macking by accident. You understand? Exactly. Joe Bass said, he said, looks maxing on accident, right? Y'all stupid. Y'all say he was cloned. And this is the thing. So what happens is that some guys, what they'll do is because they are confident within themselves based on how they're looking at the time, right? That confident energy comes through in the interaction when they're talking and dealing with women, right? But then what happens is that if they don't look as good as they thought before, then they don't feel as good. And that, you know, basically affects the outcome in a lot of situations. Right? Because I asked the question, I said, listen, you know, I'm out here talking to women. I'm not having the same experience as you. You understand? So, guys, this is why it is important to understand and know this game. Know it. You understand? Like, you need to know this. You need to understand and know what's going on. You see what I'm saying? You need to understand and know what's going on. Because what happens is, I'm sure this guy, you know, because what is it? So it's because he said that personality isn't really that big of a deal. The style isn't really, it's just really on how he looks, right? So I'm wondering, I'm like, so the girls that he got before, or I should say this, he said, remember, he said after COVID, women have been more looks focused, right? And if that's the case, and he's saying women are now increasingly caring more about looks, right? Then wouldn't it be a thing where before, right, when he was looking how he was looking, or he, you know, looked more cleaner, right? Then that would mean that his looks really didn't matter at that point, because he's saying before 2020 and the pandemic, then it doesn't matter. But now all of a sudden it matters. So if it matters now, shouldn't he look better now? Like, shouldn't he try to look better than he did 4 years ago? You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm like. Wouldn't it make more sense if guys, if you guys think it looks is the end all be all, shouldn't you be looking your best at all times? Right? He said, truthfully, Locardi's women play latex games when you're not the guy. That's fine to them. And that's if you get the number. I'm sure all these guys get more rejections than yeses. Guys, all I'm telling you guys, so, and you said it's hard to reverse the aging process. Okay, cool. So if it's hard to reverse the aging process, and it's really about looks, then why don't you just give up after you get a certain age? Like, after you get a certain age, you guys shouldn't even fuck with women. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't even fuck with women. Listen, when you guys, what they the red pill say, you hit the wall. When you guys hit the wall, don't even deal with women anymore. You understand what I'm saying? When you guys hit the wall, just chill. Just chill. You understand what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. Like, I'm listen, and again, this is no slight to him, but what was very particularly important with his video is because imagine the guy who's teaching you game has now turned into the guy complaining about women in the dating game. That's crazy. That's how crazy it's gotten. The guy who is teaching you how to make this happen has said, you know what, fuck all that shit. You know, looks has gotten so important. And, you know, if you don't pass your looks threshold, you know, it's not going to really matter. And chicks only want this type of guy. Like, bro, society has ran game on him. You understand what I'm saying? That's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. See, this is how you know you really got game. This is how you know you really got game. You know you really got game when you understand yourself so much in relation to what you're interacting with. So I'm telling you guys will never, ever, 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 ever hear me get on any of these podcasts, any of these live streams, any videos saying, guys, you know, man, you know, I wrote that book, Looks Don't Matter, in 2000 and something. And I figured out looks matter more than ever, guys. You know, the game has changed, guys. Guys, I was wrong. The game has changed. You know, it's over for you if you're not 6 feet. You know, and you don't have a jawline and, you know, and personality. Fuck all that, man. Fuck all that, guys. This is crazy. He says, see, you said that means he never had game in the first place. Here we go. Here we go. He said that means he never had game in the first. And that this statement right here, is my whole point of this live. And it's not about just him. It's about guys who believe they know, don't know. Because if you knew, you wouldn't need to believe. So if you believe you know, you don't know. Which means you didn't have game in the first place. You see what I'm saying? That's what that's about. Let me answer some of these questions real quick and then I'm gonna head up out of here. So this says, why do most women seem to act like they can take it or leave it when it comes to leading towards a date, and when on dates, then towards sex? If that's low interest women, should you just move on? What's the thing? If woman's acting like she could take it or leave it, she's not really attracted to you, bro. She's not really attracted to you, my guy. You said I just started my new job and still haven't renewed my old clothes. Does it make sense to approach women if your clothes that's fresh? What? You're saying that you don't want to approach women because you have old clothes? No, niggas still approach women. What the fuck are you talking about? So do you think he never knew the game and he was just stealing his thoughts from others like you? Now that he has taken 4 years off and experienced life, he's teaching what he thinks game is now. That's what I'm saying. Like, see, part of it is that you have guys out there who really don't know. They're just dabbling into this shit, right? So, you know, what happens is that when you don't really know and you just going off based on what you believe, it's going to be way easier for you to believe the bullshit. You know why? Because it's easier for you to believe the bullshit because it's easier for you to go the negative way, right? Because when you don't have game, you don't really, like value yourself. And so therefore, you look for outside things to tell you what shit is. You're looking for the woman to say yes, to tell you that you're somebody. You're looking for the woman to have sex with you, to validate you, to make you feel like a man. You're looking for the woman to, chase you and not say no in order for you to feel good about yourself. So when these things aren't happening, you're like, wait a second, these things aren't happening. What's going on? Oh, it's because, I blame social media. I blame social media because, you know, before I was getting a little bit of stuff happening and now all of a sudden it just seems like it's harder and harder to make things go down and these women are acting crazy and blah, blah, blah. And this is the funny part. Social media has made it easier for motherfuckers with game. Easier, not harder, easier. What are we talking about? You could fucking get chicks like you ordering pizza out this motherfucker. What are we talking about? All right, last call here. We're gonna go 216.
Yes, how you doing? How you doing, Lucario? This is Derek from Ohio.
What's up?
I donated $5.
Appreciate it, brother. So what's going on, fam?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, so I emailed you this question. I forgot I called you, on the phone. So, all right. So I have so when you met your girl on Tinder, and when you trying to before you try to message her profile say the message say verify me to see if I'm I guess a real person. Now, should I do it or should I not? Because that's like another form of like telling a girl what to do. I mean telling a guy what to do. Wait, I'm just overthinking it.
Wait, hold on. So, you said there's a girl you trying to holler at, and on her profile it says you need to be verified to talk to her or some shit.
Yeah, like that on Tinder. You ever got messages like that?
Oh, you talking about
yourself?
You talking about you talking about Tinder sends you the message or the girl?
I guess Tinder, like I guess the girl they like set it like for Tinder or whoever who matches with,
Okay, I think you're talking about Tinder. The thing is, you should verify it because then you want to make sure the women know that you're a real guy. You feel what I'm saying? So that just makes it easier on you because then if a chick sees your profile and she thinks you're fake, then she might swipe left. And she's swiping left not because she's not interested in you or attracted. She's swiping left because she thinks it's fake. But if it's verified, she's like, oh, this is a real guy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna swipe right. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. So in that moment, I was probably overthinking it, and I didn't want in a way, make sure I'm following her. That's why I called that. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right. Okay. Well, that's all, man. All right. I enjoyed the show. Thanks, man. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the call, brother. All right. Let me kill these phone lines real quick and then answer these questions, and then we out of here. So we was here. How to not be outcome dependent as a man. We want sex. Go to masculineidentitymembership.com, and that will teach you how to not be outcome dependent. So make sure you guys go there. So this is Lucario. Some guys are just genetically better looking, and some women are just better looking. It's the job of the individual to maximize themselves. Jay-Z got rejected early with game, but he kept on. Well, this is the thing. What is better looking is subjective. Again, it doesn't guys, there's a bazillion motherfucking women on this earth, man. What are we talking about? So what happens is that you're saying better looking is still subjective. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard for you guys to understand. You're going to have people who, based on culture, based on, like societal conditioning and all that they'll say this person here, a large number of people may think this person is physically appealing, right? But when it comes to you dealing with a woman, right? You're not trying to fuck all 3.7 billion or whatever women on earth, right? Just the girl that you're talking to or interacting with that you're interested in needs to be interested in you back. That's all you need to fucking know about. And if she's not interested, you go to the next girl. It's really that simple. I don't understand why this is like such a thing for most motherfuckers. Says, why you think Jay-Z had to deal with all them rejections early on before starting his own thing for the same people to hop on his dick later? He had game, but they didn't want to see it. What are you guys talking about? Guys, this is why you need to learn this game, bro. This is why you need to learn this game. First of all, every guy is interacting with women and getting rejected. You understand what I'm saying? So what is this thing you're talking about, bro? All right, let me see. So how is game developed? Thought just knowing yourself and progressing in life. Well, bro, hit up the Bad Boy membership and hit up the Masculine Identity membership, or hit me up with some private coaching so that I can, explain this to you. You feel what I'm saying? This says, you tell us to speak to women, not at women. Is it ever okay if you're approaching confidently and know what you're saying takes balls to say? Would that make it the exception to the rule? What are you talking about? He's saying, is it ever okay if you're approaching women confidently and know what you're saying takes balls to say? Would that make it the exception? I don't even understand what you're talking about. That's a very, I don't know what you're talking about. But call in next time. All right, last question and be up out of here. So this says, we know looks are not the end all be all, but we can't deny the privilege that looks reward with the opposite sex. Not saying they all don't get resistance, but we see how easy it be opposed to gain. Oh, you guys is just so, you know what? You guys really, wow. You know what? I want y'all to understand how this feels. This feels like I teach math and you guys keep saying, but Lucario, sometimes 2 + 2 is 80. You know what I'm saying? Or Lucario, sometimes 2 + 2 is 22, because if you put the 2 here and the 2 here, it looks like 22. No, nigga. 2 + 2 is 4, period. Now, with what you just said, you're saying that it gives you privilege. Let me tell you the privilege looks gives you. The privilege looks gives you is a person will look at you and think you are physically appealing, and you will get attention based on that. That is it. I'm saying it again. So if a woman thinks you're good looking, she may look in your direction because you're good looking, right? And then that means she's giving you attention for that amount of time that she's looking at you and saying you're good looking. Now, in rare cases, your good looks can make a woman sexually attracted to you just based on your look. But most of the times it's not the case. So like I said, physical attraction does not always equal sexual attraction. So the privilege you get is you walk into a room, a girl's like, oh, he's cute. That's it. So Kyle, if you want women to say you're cute, then you're absolutely right. That is a privilege you get for being good looking. A woman will say you're cute, you're handsome, and that type of shit. That's the privilege you get. Now, you thinking that you being cute and handsome makes it easier for you to get sex? No, sir. It'll be easy only in the rare occasion that she is sexually attracted to you based just on your look. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing that you got to understand, guys, is that when you have game, you know these things. See, again, Kyle, what you wrote here is what you believe. You see what I'm saying? But if you had game, you would know what you wrote is incorrect. You see what I'm saying? Again, another person who doesn't know what it's about. You said you could be borderline brain dead and still get them interested in you if you are good looking. You said being fine to a woman is easy for sex. They drop panties. All right, so cool. So Kyle, how about you do this? And also, who else? The grandfather. Let's go with that. How about you do this, Kyle and the grandfather? Why don't you guys find the women who think that you're fine and then let them drop panties? That's it. That's what I want to tell all you looks maxer guys and the guys that are so concerned with looks. It's real simple. Just find the women who think you look really good and then have sex with those women. That's it. End of story. Exactly. See, and when your looks fade, you'll be sexless because you didn't learn game. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. But listen, guys, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys go to badboymembership.com. Make sure you guys also go to masculineidentitymembership.com. And I will holler at y'all later. And, you know, since you guys are talking about all this good looking shit, let's play this as the outro. I'm out. Peace. Later.
I'm that guy your girl waves when I pass by. You waving, you ask why? Are you dumb? Do you have eyes? I'm that fly, fuck that suit and that tie. My own drip is so lit, I can't lie. She be saying I'm fine, I guess love isn't blind. Shorty loves what she sees, beats music to her mind. With you she wines and dines, with me shorty unwinds. I get it from behind, while you get left behind.
My God, you're so flawless. I think you're so gorgeous. You make me want all this. I think you're so gorgeous.
I'm so dope, you're so not, you're so-so. Girls check me when I shop in Soho. I go to the bars and clubs dolo. My game's tight, I don't lose my mojo. She be wanting a taste of what's below my waist. She be licking the tip, she be feeling the bass. Love the sound of my voice, she be feeling the bass. When I'm feeling her up, got the feeling that she will say,
My God, you're so flawless. I think you're so gorgeous. You make me want all this. I think you're so gorgeous.
I'm awesome and that's why she wants some. She likes me without flash or flossing. No floss. They want me in New York and Boston. Yes, sir. Miami and Cali and Austin. They love me all over. The girls be all over. My body, they call up they man and say it's all over. He got the cold shoulder. I'm hot but more colder. They know I got that super high sex drive. They all chauffeur.
My God, you're so flawless. I think you're so gorgeous. You make me want all this. I think you're so